what's going on, everyone? Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts. Welcome to my earnings stream. We got ENPH today, Enphase Energy. And I picked out SAP as the other stock. This is a $300 stock. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at what time they're reporting. So ENPH is at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, so 5 more minutes, and SAP is also in 5 minutes. So we'll get both reactions, should get both at the same time. ENPH, EPS forecast or consensus from Earnings Whispers, if you will. So 0.64, and the forecast for revenue is 356.3 million. And they're trading a little bit above their anchored VWAP. Enphase closed the regular session at $42.48. And the other stock is SAP. And again, they report at 4:05. Their forecast EPS $1.63, forecast revenue $10.39 billion, and they're also trading above their anchor VWAP as well. So just a few more minutes, and we'll get the data for both these companies. Going into the earnings, let's just take a little dive into their financials and fundamentals real quick. So ENPH, their trailing 12-month PE ratio is around 41, and their EPS is $1.03. They do not pay a dividend. They got a free float of 126 million, and they were nice and green today, up 7% today. So they rallied pretty good. Of course, the overall markets were kind of choppy today, slightly trending up after they hit the low this morning, but just a lot of kind of ping-ponging around all day. But ENPH, their financials, okay, they've had 4 back-to-back profitable quarters, and they usually range between 10 million and 62 million in positive net income, so kind of a bit of a range there. But last earnings, they reported $29 million in positive net income, so they have been profitable the past 4 earnings. And their debt to assets 73%, so that's okay there. So ENPH, they've been performing well the past 4 quarters as far as the earnings data goes, but as you can see from the chart, even though they've been pulling a profit, they've been downtrending since October of last year. So they kind of fell off a cliff a bit then around October, November. And they looked like they started stabilizing a little bit, and then they just couldn't break out of this downtrend. So they've been downtrending for a bit. Is this the earnings that they turned things around? I mean, just look at the weekly chart. This thing used to trade in the $300 range, where SAP is at right now. So ENPH been quite volatile over the past few years. Of course, maybe like 2021 to 2022. I'd say, most of the year 2021, they were kind of just bouncing around sideways a little bit, but yeah, it's been pretty volatile since December of 2022, and they just haven't they haven't been able to get out of the downtrend since then. So let's see if this earnings, if they get a positive reaction to earnings, maybe they can finally get out of this downtrend. It's 4:04 p.m., so we got about 1 more minute before the data officially is supposed to come out. Just jump over to SAP real quick and look at some of their financials and fundamentals. Trailing 12-month PE 58.16, EPS 5.26. They do pay a tiny dividend. Free float's 1.17 billion. Just a quick peek at the financials. They also have been profitable, positive net income for the past 4 quarters, so good job on them. that the asset only 39%, so that's really good too. And looks like they just got monthly options. ENPH has weekly options, so that's, if you're an options trader, ENPH probably be better to trade. Let me zoom into the 1 minute chart here. I'm gonna go to Trading View. Go 1 minute chart, and it looks like we're getting some volatility here. So let's see what happens. And after we get the reactions on both these earnings, I'll go over a few trades that I'm in right now, and a new trade that I opened up today, shared with the Discord. All right, so far ENPH getting a negative reaction. Let's see if it bounces back up. A lot of times with these earnings, sometimes you get a bunch of flickering candles in the beginning and then it finally picks a direction, but we'll see. What's going on in the Discord? Modi Eyes here, Nikki's here, Devo's here, Sailor, my brother Sailor's here. Look at ENPH, just did a reversal. Or let's just say that that first negative reaction was not the real move, was it? Getting a positive reaction right now. So let me see if I got EPS and revenue and all that good stuff. Still waiting on SAP. All right, so I do got the ENPH earnings results. Got over 400 people joining us from Twitter and YouTube, a few other places. Welcome, everybody. We got ENPH earnings reaction we're going over. Here's the results that they just reported. And yeah, I'm just put it right here. We'll leave the price of ENPH on the left. So again, their forecast EPS, or the expected numbers, was 0.62. They just reported 0.69 earnings per share. So they beat that by 11%. So that's great. Revenue forecast was 359 million. They just reported 363 million. So about a 1% beat on that. Year over year numbers, double digit growth there. EPS is up 60% year over year. Revenue's up 20% year over year. So great year over year numbers. Quarter over quarter, slightly green. EPS up 1%, revenue up 2%. So far, it looks like some solid data from ENPH. Still don't have anything on SAP yet. Maybe the time was wrong on Earnings Whispers. They're saying 4:05 p.m., but obviously the data's not out yet, or we'd see some little bit of volatility. Okay, looks like we're seeing a little bit of volatility, actually. Trading View's kind of frozen. Weeble's showing, wait a second, is this even, let me go here, SAP, there it is, okay. I had the wrong ticker pulled up. There was two different SAPs, but here it is. So we are getting some volatility on SAP as well. And I'm on the 1 minute chart on Trading View. ENPH kind of pulling back a little bit from the little pump it just had. And let me see if there's any other data on that I can give everyone. And let me post on the bottom of my screen as well the EPS and revenue. Give me one second. I'm going to flip over to SAP just real quick and see if their data's out. Go ahead and share that with everybody. Okay, SAP earnings are out. So it looks like they missed revenue. The revenue came in at 10.6 billion. Blue Brain, what's up, brother? Blue Brain on YouTube. I'll post this SAP data first, and then I'll go over to, and then I'll post ENPH. But they missed revenue because the forecast revenue was 10.63 billion, and they reported 10.6. So they just missed it just by a little bit. EPS, they did beat the EPS, came in at $1.76. The forecast was $1.69. So SAP summary, they missed revenue just by a little bit, but they beat EPS. ENPH had a double beat, had a negative reaction at first, then the real move happened, and it went up to about $46.34 a share. Pulled back a little bit. Let's see where this retraced back so far. You actually draw this from the other way. I'll go to the top wick there, that's fine. So actually retraced almost 78% of that little pump it just had. So again, it went up to like 46.34. Had a kind of decent sized red candle here. It's just a 1 minute candle, but still almost the same size as that rally candle. And now it's just kind of trading right around the golden fib, a little bit below that. So we'll keep our eyes on it and see if it makes a higher low. Back over to SAP just for a second. It is getting a negative reaction. Yep, we both showing the same thing as well. Again, they missed revenue, but they did beat EPS. So let me go back to ENPH just for a second. Okay, so double beat on ENPH. Revenue of 363.2 million. Operating income 37 million. That was the GAAP operating income. Non-GAAP is 98.6 million. Net income of 37.1 million. And non-GAAP net income of 89.9 million. All right. So the numbers they don't look bad, but it's not really holding its gains after it just rallied a little bit. So we'll have to keep our eye on it, but it looks like it's kind of heading. It basically retraced 100% of that rally it just had. So investors aren't impressed yet. The implied move for ENPH is about 12%. So it closed the regular session at 42.50. So what's 12% of that? Times 12. That's like a $5 move. And right now it's green a little bit, but basically trading just above where it closed at. Again, expected move is $5 up or down. So we'll see. Had some people on Twitter buying some puts on ENPH before the market closed. Again, they've been downtrending for quite a while, since 2022. So investors are really going to want to be impressed for this thing to catch a bid. So far, they haven't. I mean, initially it was kind of volatile at the beginning. Again, initial reaction was negative. Then it pumped, had a nice positive move. Then it retraced 100%, and now it's kind of just flat, waiting to pick a direction here. Earnings data still getting digested. All right, let me look at a few other things here before we move on. But nonetheless, they got a double beat. Let me post this data here for ENPH. Hopefully this fits all on one post. Yeah, it looks like we're good. All right, so there's the ENPH data, double beat. And they beat the net income forecast too. Net income 89.9 million, and the forecast was 84.1 million. But not catching a bid yet. It's actually down a little bit right now, down almost 2%. SAP is getting a negative reaction. So they closed the regular session at $305.83 a share. They're down 3.5% right now. So investors not liking the SAP earnings data, that's for sure. Let me just refresh my screen and see if there's anything else to share with everyone. And I'll probably take the last 10 or 15 minutes and go over some open trades that I got open now. Got a decent sized JetBlue position that I've been running the wheel on. And then I also opened up a new spread trade today. And I also had some cash secured puts on OSCR that I took profit on today. I opened them yesterday. So we'll go over those trades on my Fidelity account here in a minute. I just want to see what ENPH ends up doing, if they're trying to bottom out or what. I mean, I think now that they're heading back the other way. Let me delete this Fibonacci here. Let me draw it the other way, here to there. Okay, so if we're just looking at this downtrend that started after the little rally, Of course, support level number one is going to be the after hours low, $40.68. Price is trading just above that right now. Resistance number one, so R1, that'd probably be 42 bucks a share. And then I'd say $44 would be the other resistance there. This is just for price action and after hours. So we'll see if it can start clawing its way back up. But again, it did rally a little bit. It retraced more than 100%, and now it's sitting down here just above after hours low. So both of these stocks are red here in after hours. Again, investors don't seem to be too impressed with either one of these. So we'll just have to wait until they do their earnings web call with the upper management and the CEO. And maybe there's a secondary move there. But let me show everyone how to get to the earnings web call for ENPH. I'll get a link for everyone so everyone can screenshot it if they want to attend the web call. And I'm just going to go to their investor relations page. Here it is right here. And just scroll down a little bit. And here's the Q2 conference call webcast. There's also another hyperlink here where you can see the financial results, okay? So let me post this link for everyone in the comments. All right, I'm going to click on this conference call webcast. So I just want to see what time it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be at what, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. It's at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. Then yeah, that's going to be 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So just in another 15 minutes is this earnings web call with ENPH, and again, that's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's how you're going to get there. I'll leave the link up on the bottom of my screen for a few minutes and give people an opportunity to screenshot that. And not sure how many people are here for SAP. I mean, it is a $300 stock, so it's obviously, got a good following of investors, right? Let me just look up their earnings web call link, and then we'll go over those trades I was talking about. Okay, let's take a look. Same thing for SAP. Just going to go to their investor relations page and see if I can get that link for the earnings call for everyone. What's this? Cookies? Okay, yes, understood. All right, so right on their homepage, they got the results right here. So here's the link for SAP earnings web call. Amit on YouTube. Looks like you're asking how much time for ENPH. ENPH's earnings are out. So here, let me post that again. So they double beat. They beat EPS and beat revenue. However, they're not getting a positive reaction. They're actually sawing off a little bit. That was after kind of a volatile reaction. They kind of wicked down, then they wicked up like they were going to rally, and now it's heading back down. It's testing after hours low right now. So investors not too impressed with their earnings. It's probably guidance related why they're selling off right now. Maybe the guidance was reduced downwards. Could either be Q3 guidance or the remainder of the fiscal year guidance. Let me read a couple other things here. Okay, company reported shipping 1.53 million microinverters and 190.9 megawatts of IQ batteries, printing a flat sequential quarter, but a second year-over-year growth for its microinverter business and new record deliveries for batteries. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but it's ENPH isn't catching a bid right now. It's actually down about 2.5%. It's only $1 a share. So down 2.56% right now, down $1.16 a share now. That's after having a nice green day, though. Don't forget it was up 7% today, so it kind of rallied into this earnings. So, you know, in the bigger picture, it's really not down much if you count the regular session price action, right? Someone calling my cell phone. Let me just mute them. But we got our reactions. Both of them are negative. We're just gonna have to wait and see if they get a secondary move with the earnings web call and kind of go from there. Let's go over some of these trades I was talking about. So today I opened up a spread trade, and I'll just kind of quickly go over that for everybody. This is our Discord. This is my alert channel. So this is the spread trade opened up today. It was on a firm. Okay, so let me pull up a firm real quick. ENPH going after hours low again. So sellers are winning the battle there. But with a firm, it closed the regular session at $65.43. And the trade I opened up was, let's go back here. It was a bull put spread. That's kind of the slang term for it, but the technical term for it is a put credit spread. So that is a bullish trade because technically we're short the puts, right? If you're receiving credit on the onset of the trade. I'm not going to show the ENPH earnings web call. I'm just going to go over these trades with everyone. But I will, here's the link. I'll post a link on the bottom of my screen. That's how you're going to get to the earnings web call for ENPH. It starts in about 9 minutes. 4:30 p.m. Eastern is when it starts. So anyways, this bull put spread or put credit spread, which would be the technical term for it. It's a bullish trade. When I opened the trade, a firm was selling, going for $65.51 a share. So, you know, I'm kind of trading off the daily chart on this one. Let me go to Webull just real quick, and here, I got a firm on the right here. And also, let me put some Bollinger Bands on here because I just want to show everyone what I was looking at. Okay, so today they sold off to the bottom Bollinger Band, but then there were some dip buyers there today. You can see this bottom wick here lines up pretty good with the bottom Bollinger Bands, right around 64 a share. So you kind of use that as your support level number one, 64. And then we got this previous support back here. Disregard my white line here. I'll get rid of that. That's my break-even line on my trade. But yeah, you know, support number one, 64. Support level two, 62. Those are kind of the levels I'm trading off of as far as support goes. And you know, overall they've been trending up since April. And just noticed that there were some dip buyers this morning. So that's the trade I came up with. And what I did was I sold to open the 62 put for August 1st. So it's just next Friday. It's only 10-day hold. Might not even have to hold it for 10 days. So I sold to open the 62 put, and then I bought to open the 61 put. That formed a $1 wide spread. So buying power needed with your broker. Of course, to trade spreads, you need a margin account, but as long as you have cash to cover the width of the spread, you're not actually, you know, you're not getting charged interest on like margin or anything like that. So just make sure you have cash on the side to cover the width of the spread. In this case, it's $100. And this particular trade yielded a $25 credit per spread, 74% chance of profit. So I look at this as, you know, this is 25% potential return on my capital, right? If I'm tying up $100, I opened up a handful of these, but for each, I'm just talking about the numbers for one spread. I did 5 of these, but max loss would be $75 if it went against you and you didn't manage it or do anything about it. That's not how I trade spreads. I always manage the trade if it goes against me a little bit. You know, if it goes against me just in general, yeah, I would usually manage the trade. You could roll it out to another expiration date. There's 3 management techniques. You could roll it. You can roll it out, buy some more time, and see if you'll give it another week or two, see if it ends up working out. That's one kind of management technique. The second management technique is what I call a 2x credit received, stop loss, if you will. What that means is if I collected $25 on the onset of the trade, obviously we want both of these contracts to go worthless, because that's how we make money on credit spreads. When they go worthless, then we pocket the $25 that we collected in premium when we open the trade. So we want these to go to zero as far as the actual contract. So the 2x credit received stop loss management technique is, if the value of this spread ever gets to $50, then maybe you could consider stopping out of the trade. Maybe just accept the fact that you were wrong about the direction this time, and it would be a debit of $50 to close it out. But don't forget, you already collected $25, so your net loss is only 25. So you're risking 25 to make 25. That's how you keep these credit spreads at 1-to-1 risk reward. You use a 2x credit received stop loss. So that's risk management technique number 2. Risk management technique number 3 would be using your break even as your stop loss. That would be your break even at expiration, but nonetheless, if you know how we figure out our break even is we take the strike that we sold to open, which would be the 62 put, and then you just subtract out the credit you received, which was 0.25 on this trade. So now I know my break even on a firm is $61.75. Look at ENPH. It just keeps making new after hours low. So definitely getting a negative reaction, must be guidance related. But anyway, so a firm on this put credit spread trade I opened today, my stop loss is $61.75. So what I like to do is I like to draw a horizontal line where my break even at expiration is. And so it's going to be right here. I'll go ahead and edit this, 61.75. So this white horizontal line, that's my break even. So all I care about is ENPH trading above my white line, really. As long as it trades above my break even, I know it's going to be a profitable trade. Now, of course, to get the max profit of $25 a spread, it would need to close above $62 at expiration. Let me go 1 hour chart here just so it's easier to look. Another thing I do is I also put a vertical line where my expiration date is. It's just easier to quickly pull up the chart and look from a bird's eye view to see how the spread's doing. So I just want a firm to trade above my white line, and we're just taking it to this yellow line here. And as long as you know that this will be a winning trade, as long as it does that. Now, I'm not really too concerned about intraday volatility. Of course, if a firm makes a rally upwards, then we don't have to take this to the yellow line. We can take early profit if we get a move upwards, because it is technically a bullish trade. And also, so if that doesn't happen, let's just say it just trades sideways. Like you can even go against us a little bit. Let's just say it just kind of ping pongs up and down like this. I really don't care if it does that. Like I say, with these credit spreads, as long as the underlying stock price is on the correct side of my spread and we take it to expiration, it's going to be a winning trade. So that's why the win rate on these is so high. But again, you got to know how to manage the trade if it goes against you, or it's going to take you 2-3 more trades to make back a loss. So, if you want to learn more about how to manage these things, definitely come check me out in the Discord. This is basically the type of trading I do here. And I run a ton of the wheel strategy. So basically selling cash secured puts to enter stock and selling covered calls to exit stock for profit. So I run a lot of that strategy. And of course, I do a lot of spreads. But yeah, it's about 4:30 p.m. The ENPH earnings web call is about to start. Again, the link to that is on the bottom of my screen. If you want to screenshot that, that'll take you to the call. I'm personally not going to stream it, but we did get our reactions on ENPH, and we did get our reaction on SAP. Both reactions were negative. ENPH was a bit volatile when the data first came out. It looked like it wanted to catch a bid, and then it just sold off, and now it's downtrending, continuing to make new after-hours lows as the clock is ticking here. So maybe during the web call that's starting right now, maybe there's a secondary move when they start talking about the guidance a little more clearly. But yeah, that's really all I got for today. Tomorrow's earnings are going to be pretty exciting. We got Tesla and Google tomorrow, so that's definitely going to be the market mover for this week. And again, that's going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern when I stream that. So Tesla and Google. So we got a pretty exciting day tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. If you're looking for a new home and looking for a new trading community that's supportive and lots of education and alerts and stuff like that, come check us out. My name's the Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. And if you do end up joining, just tag me in the chat and I'll come by and say hello. We can chat for a little bit and see what's going on with your situation and all that stuff. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. for Tesla and Google. Bring your popcorn and get ready for some action tomorrow. But hope everyone has a great night, and I'll see everyone in the very next stream. Cheers.